So, 99 Nights in the Forest, the deer in real life. Do you know anything about the actual real life story of the deer there, ONG?
Yeah, so the deer is actually based off of like a real life Wendigo, right? In the around the lore in the North America lore folklore of the Wendigo, which is a creature that is very, very interesting that I don't think I would ever want to run into, if I'm being honest, but you want to tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, definitely not ever want to have to run into that. The legend obviously comes, I think you mentioned it, from tribes of North America. It is said to be a human who turned into a monster after resorting to cannibalism. Oh, dude, jeez, during a harsh winter.
Yep. And I mean that right there tells you a lot, because like its features are usually like very like skeletal, lanky almost, kind of like how the deer is, and it does often have deer-like attributes, which is kind of interesting, like the antlers, the hooved feet, stuff like that. And apparently this thing smells awful from countless reports as well, if you're actually in the presence of this thing, which
Speaking of it, look at it, just over here watching from behind this tree, bro.
Oh my god, yeah. Speaking of which, there
dude.
is the deer, which, I mean, if you see the deer, how it just stands very odd, like scary. It's got the antlers. I mean, you can definitely see where they based this off of, be it in the forest with the Wendigo and things like that. But, obviously we want to go in and explain a little bit more about the Wendigo so you know more about like the lore behind it and why they decided to base it off of the deer for 99 Nights in the Forest. I don't know why. I had I had 5. My sack was full and it has 5 on it.
Mine too.
So I was like 5 Nights in the Forest. Apparently is what I wanted to say.
I was staring at the same thing on my screen and it made sense to me. I was like, the viewers probably like, what is he talking about? But to me, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm in.
Oh my god. Yeah. Right, you want to continue us there?
Yeah, I got you. First, I think it is key to point out that it is actually known, the real-life story of the Wendigo. The Wendigo is known to have superhuman strength, speed, and the ability to mimic voices in order to lure victims into, like, certain areas that it could obviously... Dude, what are you doing with these wolves, bro? Wow.
Where did they come from?
They came and then they went, dude. They immediately despawned. That was crazy.
What was that? Like, I've never had wolves attack me like that. So yeah, I mean, the deer is heavily inspired by it because, obviously, as we touched on the cursed forest setting, you're in a forest that's isolated, eerie, we're surviving, we're trying to, and this is like the perfect environment for the Wendigo to begin with. And there's cold, endless night cycles that just mimic kind of like desperation, a haunting atmosphere that you would have just right there. Absolutely. As you would expect with the Wendigo. And we talked about the appearance and how it is the same as well for that.
And a thing to note, obviously, in 99 Nights in the Forest, you cannot kill the deer, right? And like what I just mentioned about it having superhuman strength, the Wendigo in real life, I guess it makes perfect sense why you cannot kill the deer in the game. And there's actually no way to escape the deer at all. You could pretty much, if you come in contact with a deer, you're pretty much done for. So, especially on a night that it's actually hungry, as we know from personal experiences playing. Are we going to throw wood on the fire, or are we just going to wait until nighttime?
I don't know. I haven't been throwing the wood on the fire, and I'm like, do we even need to? But let's get to talk about the behavior and the symbolism behind that, because, see, for me, the Wendigo is something that has a lot of symbolism behind it. So, from touching on greed, selfishness, it kind of touches on a lot of that from its characteristics and behavior. And the deer also, you're seeing a lot of stuff about specific rituals, darkness, also suspecting something spiritual or like a cursed force from the cultists that's in the forest, kind of all playing along and connecting all these pieces of the puzzle. And much like the Wendigo, it's haunted, like kind of like just haunting its prey and trying to find any moment to psychologically impair you so it can capture you.
Oh, dude, now you got me freaked out now, dude. The way that you broke that down, man. Jeez.
I didn't mean to word it so creepy like.
Yeah,
I was just
going. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Honestly, you spoke on that. A lot of people believe that's where the myth of the real life Wendigo was even created in the first place. It was created as a warning against like cannibalism, obviously, but also the unchecked greed that you kind of hinted at, like more than just meets the eye. Like that was definitely a symbol that if you believe in it, I guess, then maybe not. But if you believe that it was a myth that was just created, that's a lot of people believe that's the reason that the myth was created in the first place. Boom.
Well, getting back to kind of like the parallels that I was addressing with the Wendigo lore and how you know, it kind of plays on desperation and consumption, you know, because, you know, in 99 Nights, what are we doing? We're trying to hoard and hunt, and we have that survivalist greed about us, which we're trying to consume all of the forest, which indirectly may be triggering the deer as well as we're doing that. So, you know, the more that you do this, the more that the deer also becomes selfish, and it's kind of like a parallel to you, the player, as well as you experience the game.
That's actually a really good point. That does kind of line up, because as you go further into the game, you just want more and more and more. I mean, we've done long runs before, and that's exactly what we sound like. We're like, all right, we got this. Well, now we need the chainsaw. Now we need the tactical shot. You know, we're always pushing for more and more and more and more. And as you play along, the deer is also going to get hungrier, and also be pushing for more and more and more and more.
And if you notice, the longer you progress in the game, the cultists get even angrier, and you find them attacking your camps even more repetitively as they build up forces to come after you. So,
yeah, that is true too. That is true. We've dealt with that. It seems like sometimes they're like literally attacking constantly, and obviously at the cultist strongholds and stuff, they get stronger as time goes on. That could be a link to that as well. I'm just
it's definitely super interesting, because like I've never seen like a game like this really spin the Wendigo like they have in the way that they have with this game, and it's kind of like spooky. And I love how you build a log wall somehow without having to build a log wall.
I know, right?
If only it worked. Like, this would be a new effective way to build log walls. But wait, okay, I've not been surviving. What should we be taking note on right now for our surviving here?
What should we be taking note on? What, are we not doing a good enough job? We're doing great, dude.
I guess so, but I feel like we got stuff scattered everywhere. I probably should go find some scrap too, I feel like. But anyways, getting back to the main topic here, you can continue us.
Boom, boom. I actually just thought of this. Have you ever been attacked on day 2, like night 2? I have never, like, I've wandered way out of the camp and never once been attacked by the deer on night 2. I've been meaning to bring this up for a minute to you. It's not the context, but geez, I was just kind of roaming out of the camp just then and did not get attacked. I don't know. Anyways, the Wendigo, right?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about that too, because it'll be like night 3, 4, and the deer still doesn't attack. So, like, you might have a valid point there. I mean, people in the comment section is going to be able to clear that up a little bit better for us. Like, yeah, the deer actually won't attack till like 4 days, or sometimes it will on the 3rd day. It really all depends. You know, I guess people can clear that up. But yeah, I guess essentially, you know, we covered a lot about the Wendigo and the real life touches based around it and what it's based off of. Anything you would like to add, or you think that's a good place to sum it up?
You know, I think that is a pretty good place to sum it up. But what we talked about, like some of the real life Wendigo behavior and stuff, I mean, I wouldn't doubt like if the developers like put in the game where the deer doesn't always act the same, like as far as like when it attacks and stuff. Because like I feel like I've had some strange stuff. I feel like I've made it to like day 4 before, like you said, without being attacked, and roaming out at night too, like coming out like this far away from the camp. I wonder if that's something that was like, it's just kind of buggy or like pre-programmed, because as we were just learning about the Wendigo, or teaching about the Wendigo, I should say, like it talked about the behaviors and how it like, you know, it mimics like human voice. It just does strange things to try to like trick people and stuff. So I don't know. It could be something to think about.
There's definitely a lot to think about and go over regarding the Wendigo and everything that it has. And yeah, I mean, dude, I get creeped out when I talk about it, because like I'm always afraid of like, what if, you know, because like I don't know, you go camping, like a lot of people go camping, right? And like I wouldn't want to go camping near a forest that has like Wendigo lore surrounding it or something. Like I would want to steer clear of that completely. Dude,
I'm pretty much done with any forest now after just talking about some of this stuff. It doesn't even matter if it's tied to the Wendigo at all.
I know, like, you gotta maybe still, you know, steer clear a little bit for the forest for a little while until the Wendigo dies down or something. I don't know. But, hey, there's a lot of interesting things coming in 99 Nights in the Forest, and more of the storyline surrounding the deer and the Wendigo and everything involving it. You know, it's definitely, they're going to add more to the lore, and we're going to get to learn more about why the deer does the way that it does, but we can kind of base it off the Wendigo and determine a lot. Are you trying to hit me with an axe?
Dude, I'm possessed by the Wendigo, dude. My actions are different now.
Oh my god, dude.